Now we are going to move into the topic of Bisa and Pantang. Bisa and Pantang. So, Bisa can be classified as something that is harmful to certain people and not other people. So in this example is that a person who has a cold disease such as diarrhea, sakit perut cirit-birit kan. So a person who has a cold disease would avoid cold food such as okra because it would be bitter for him. So whereas if a person is normal or have a healthy temperament, so okra would be beneficial for his health. And pantang is a food restriction in Malay, frequently translated as tabu. And pantang carries no supernatural stricture or explanatory penalties. So bisa and pantang, bisa and pantang ni dia macam apa? Satu terminologi dalam dia macam apa, sebahagian daripada cabang-cabang apa perubatan dalam Melayu jugalah kan tentang bisa dan pantang ni. Macam bisa ni macam apa? Contoh tadi apa? Makanan-makanan yang sejuk, makanan-makanan yang panas. So macam saya cakap tadi there is several kind of our human body have several kind of temperament depending on the climate, the nature, and the food pattern or food intake that we practice. So based on that kind of different characteristic that each person has, so each person may be susceptible to certain food, while other people will be susceptible to other food. So for example, in this example that the person who have diarrhea will be susceptible when eating okra. The truth is also for people who have a tendency to have bloated stomach or macam penyakit angin lah kan. So if the person have a tendency to have a bloated stomach, so he or she is not advised to consume a lot of windy food such as glutinous rice, jackfruit, and high fiber ingredient like psyllium husk. When we look into the pantang, it is a food restriction. Macam apa yang kita boleh makan, apa yang kita tak boleh makan je lah kan. So pantang and bisa ni come hand in hand. Dia macam satu untuk explain the another lah. So bila kita ada bila kita ada certain penyakit yang bila kita makan benda tu dia akan berbisa, so kita kena pantang benda tu dan sebagainya. So itu terminologi tu macam complement each other lah. So as you can see inside the display of the picture, this depict the typical postpartum So this is a typical postpartum meal. Postpartum meal usually is geared toward hot food to counteract cold. So as you know that when a woman delivered the babies, so there are going to be some level or some degree of blood loss. So therefore the body are going to be in some kind of shock. So because of that, the postpartum practices is where is usually observed in order to make the body into more optimized condition, usually using this kind of meal. As you can see here, the food that is being cooked for the postpartum meal are usually food that usually does not contain any oil. As you can see here, tenggiri bakar, sambal tok lada hitam, sawi rebus, nasi putih dan juga ulam bawang. But if you recall back, fried food is fatty food. Fatty food is actually one kind of food that is considered to be hot. So while fried food is not usually recommended because it has higher histamine due to the breakdown of the fatty acid inside of the oil. So one of the recommended fatty food for postpartum is lamb. So as we know that when we eat lamb, we are going to feel our body generating more heat, and therefore indicating that the body are having a higher metabolism. So that's why fatty food such as grilled lamb is one of the recommended food to be included in the postpartum meal. So Pantang a guide posed for behavior, leaving the possibility of experimentation. So a new mother who eats food considered bisa and experiences no harmful consequences may be complimented on her cast iron stomach. So pantang ni macam saya cakap tadi, it depend on the constitution or temperamental of the person. Maknanya pantang dekat sini bukan haram apa? Dia bukan haram mutlak. Dia bergantung apa? It depends on the person constitution. Maknanya ada orang yang boleh macam mak-mak kan, macam newly delivered mother. Some of them have a higher resistance toward eating cold food in comparison to other people. So in this kind of situation, you need to know yourself and experiment with what is safe and what is not safe. So one of the sign that a food is harmful for newly delivered mother is the experience of rengat. So kalau kamu bagi mak-mak yang baru bersalin tu kan, so salah satu tanda untuk tahu bahawa makanan yang kita tengah makan tu tak elok sebenarnya adalah dengan experience of rengat. Rengat ni adalah satu sensasi ataupun satu keadaan fizikal di mana kamu akan rasa sakit, sharp pain on the area of the womb. So kiranya itu untuk menunjukkan bahawa makanan tu dia ada kesan terhadap pembaikan rahim tu. So macam bila kita baru lepas lahirkan bayi tu, rahim tu dia dalam proses pengecutan. So dalam proses pengecutan tu, kalau kita makan benda-benda yang tak kena dengan badan kita, so dia akan memberi satu simptom yang dipanggil sebagai rengat, iaitu sakit yang sangat dia very sharp pain, macam seolah-olah kita macam sakit perut yang mencucuk-cucuk tu. So kalau kita experience that kind of rengat, so that is a telltale sign that the food that you are eating is not suitable for you. So a new mother who experienced postpartum bleeding or stomachache after eating bisa food is not a sinner but a bit of fool. So dia kena beringat lah kalau dah lepas bersalin tu kan. So bisa, many fish are considered bisa for physical reason. Inconsistent body feature, abnormally large scales such as wrasse and parrotfish. Empirical wrasse flesh spoil easily, causing cholera-like symptom. Kolera ni apa? Taun. Maknanya apa? Kalau kita tangkap ikan ni dan kita biarkan, dia akan cepat rosak, dan apa? Kalau kita makan, dia akan menyebabkan macam kena taun. Then threatening body features, spiny fish like puffer, small sharp bones, red color like blood. So empirical, puffer carry tetradon toxin that cause fatalities among sushi eaters in Japan. So tetradon toxin ni nerve toxin. Tetradon toxin ni in small quantities, it's going to make the eaters of the puffer fish feel numb on the lips. So danger of choking while eating spines or bones, sympathetic magic. Eating blood color fish may cause hemorrhage or prevent healing of wound. So disturbing eating habit, bottom feeder. So bottom feeder tend to concentrate ciguatera toxin coming from blue-green algae eaten by smaller fish. So kalau apa, ikan yang bottom feeder ni kan, kalau kita makan, selalunya dia akan boleh membuatkan sakit perut jugalah. So dia which can cause weakness, vomiting, diarrhea and abdominal cramp, and mortality rate up to 60%. So ni yang saya tunjuk ni macam ikan-ikan yang boleh dikonsider sebagai bisa lah kan. So cold humor, fish with slimy skin, moray eel. Fish slime is an irritant and source of infection to pre-existing wound. So macam apa, ikan-ikan yang apa, ikan yang slimy macam apa, macam ni dia dikatakan mempunyai cold humor lah. So kalau nak bagi orang yang apa, bagi orang yang ada penyakit sejuk, dia macam tak digalakkan untuk makan benda-benda yang sejuk macam ni.